What's going on, you guys? It is Sunday morning, and it is every bit of Sunday morning. And I've got about a cool 10 minutes. I can go ahead and spend getting this off my chest. So I've made the decision over the last few days to go ahead and just start eating green, and I mean green as in eating raw, eating. I think that's called the raw diet. So basically, I just make it simple for myself and everybody involved. Fruits and vegetables. But it all came down to this decision because of majority of three things. Those three things would be one, mental clarity. I stopped eating pork a while ago. I mean, like 3, 4 years ago, a while ago. And the mental clarity that I received from making that decision, the mental clarity that I got from the discipline, I actually saw how it all lined up. Since then, my stuff like my mucus production has been down, and I spit way less than I used to. But I wasn't doing it for health reasons at the time. I just actually wanted to, cut back on eating the pork. So when I did, and I thought about going back, the smell started getting repulsive, and it just turned into more of a physical thing. But it was the habit that pretty much got it started. So, since then, man, the discipline and the mental clarity pretty much tied into one another. And that, I like that. So, I figured, why not? But the second reason is mainly going to be around my budget. So, I've been looking over my finances recently and just looking over my budget. Everything that I post on this channel is usually going to relate somehow back to your money, your budgeting, and the best things you can do for and with your money. So, but not in an educational sense. I'm showing you as I'm learning in full time, or in real time, that is. So, as I'm learning it, I'm posting it. And if anybody else has anything else they'd like to add in, or introduce me to, or anything like that, we'll come to figure it out. But point being, the second reason why I'm doing this ties into my budget. So I'm realizing that I'm spending over $2,000 a month on food, whether it be restaurants, whether it be gas stations, grocery stores, doesn't matter. And honestly, that's too much. I had to look back at my bank statements a few years ago, and I didn't used to spend this much on food. Now, of course, we can blame inflation, but that's an entirely different conversation. Right? I can still see my habits and how I purchase my food, and I don't like it. So, for the people who are saying that, hey, buying buying healthy food is still relatively expensive. It's not a cost-effective way to battle the price of food. Maybe you're right. But an apple's pretty cheap. And I've been hungry before and ate an apple, and I've been fine. It didn't have to be a $14 fast food meal. It didn't have to be, $200 of processed food. If you know what you're doing in the kitchen, even if you don't have to involve a stove, I'm learning. I'm really learning. And I'm learning in time. Now, I'm not here to preach to the choir about what you should do, but if you stumbled upon this video, you have the same interests as I do, so you understand what's going on. So we're speaking to the like-minded. The third reason, physical health. I've done a lot of research about this, and I've witnessed it myself, and I lost over 100 pounds in the course of 3 months, and it stayed off for a long time. I'm talking years. From deriving a lot of my water content from fruits, vegetables, and, simple and plain, water. That pretty much got me together. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, the exercise was a part of it, but it wasn't any strenuous workouts that I was doing. It wasn't even really too consistent. It was consistent maybe 3 times a week at the very least, but it was mainly the diet. I wouldn't put cheese on anything. I wouldn't even think about fast food, and I pretty much kept it clean, and I realized my decisions from then to my decisions now. However, it was nowhere near the amount of processed food that's out here now. From the restaurants to, just going to the grocery store, and how they strategically make that stuff affordable. I don't want to come off as the conspiracy guy, but we all understand there's strategies in the grocery store, the whole high, low, and how they organize the store, and how they track your shopping online or in person. I'm not the guy to usually claim the victim mentality, but they're attacking us. But but not attacking our pockets nonetheless. But they're attacking our health. Whoever the they is, right? Whether it's society, whether it's, the big business, whoever you want to blame. Does it change the result is what the question is, right? Diabetes is running rampant. We've got people out here dying from heart attacks in their 30s due to stress and hypertension. And I'm 30 this year. I just turned 30 in August this year, dating 2024. And that's not something I want to experience. I don't want to experience high blood pressure. I don't want to experience diabetes. I don't want to experience high cholesterol. And I don't have these problems. These are problems I do not have. But I don't want to wait for the problem to show up. This should have been reason number one, to be completely honest with you. Because when I wake up and I get that first thought in the morning, it pretty much sets the tone of the day, whatever that first thought is. And that's how it does tie into the mental clarity. But it also ties into my mood and the decisions that I make that day. Buying food is sometimes an impulsive decision. Sometimes your food consumption is a reaction to what's going on in your life. And they say life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you respond. Right? And I know a lot of people, sometimes even including myself, will respond with food. And I'll tell you what, I am not qualified enough to either diagnose or undiagnose myself with something as if I'm a professional. So we'll start from scratch, and that scratch will be as it comes out of the ground. We're going to see how it affects my health, and more or less, we're going to let the results speak for themselves. Now, I'm not downing anybody who wants to, still eat whatever they want to eat. That's fine. Will this be a complete lifestyle change? Honestly, I'm not expecting it to be. But we've got to see some shit. We've got to see some stuff turn around. We've got to see the finances turn around. That's what budgeting is for. We've got to see the lifestyle turn around. That's where the mindset comes in. Not just where the mindset comes in, but what we do to influence the mindset. What I do to influence my mindset. So, hell, starting a YouTube, right? Avoiding procrastination, being vulnerable, being transparent, really putting yourself out there, and seeing yourself in another light to help influence change. So, that's what we're doing. So, I just wanted to come out here and keep it clear with you guys, keep it transparent, let you know what I have going on. Now, if I find some other videos of someone who's doing this as well, I'm going to tap in and see if I can figure out, okay, what are they doing? What are some more recipes? What have they experienced? So that's going to be my 3 reasons of why we're going to stop the processed foods and we're going to get to the natural green, the raw stuff, the fruits, the vegetables. We'll go from there. Anybody know anything? Anybody got any tips? Anybody done this before? You doing it now? Let me know down below because I want to know. I want to know. This is actually starting to get way less scary, and way easier to be transparent with stuff like this. And I'm opening myself up to being held accountable. Held accountable. Because I have reasons for what I'm doing. And if you know better and you don't do better, then it makes you ignorant. And we have no room for ignorance. No time soon. So, let me know if you guys know anything. And we'll get the document and we'll see how things go. In the meantime, you know how it goes, you guys. Keep it crispy.